Had to dash. You looked so peaceful, I didn't want to wake you. Je t'aime, Elise.
Someone will come and collect it. Surely.
Initiate, do you read me? I'm sorry about all this noise. There's a waterfall of signal distortion. It's not looking good. How about one more boost before I lose this connection? Sending you the data now. You're close to the goal, okay? So hold fast. Our own research couldn't locate the date and place of Germain's death, so you'll have to find it yourself. Bishop out.
Et quand il tousse d'un coup. Encore. Doucement, espèce de fou. Vous allez tuer quelqu'un.
Même particulièrement hideux. C'est manifeste. Votre père avec une famille. Vous serez difficile. Il n'y en aura pas pour tout le monde pour faire quantité. Non, le droit n'est pas négocié.
Quoi? Marcher ne lui suffit donc.
Je devrais faire attention à lui.
Cette énergie.
Listen to me. I said I...
Ma présence n'est pas indispensable. Sujet au vertige.
Quel animal! Mon Dieu!
Hello. Content de vous voir ici.
Tiens.
C'est ici.
Come on! Well, come on! That's right. Nothing but a very nosy harder. Come on, man!
Monsieur, je détourne. qu'il ne va pas voir.
Sacré les tous.
Are you sure about this?
Not particularly, no. But the Marquis is on the National Convention for Le Peletier. He might have some insight.
Which is a more incisive commentary on corruption in the bishopric? 7 nuns seducing a parish priest into debauchery, or an enormously endowed Benedictine sodomizing a goat named Pius?
No force in heaven or on earth will make me answer that question.
Quite right, Arno. The goat it is. So, what can I do for you? And your charming companion.
Louis-Michel Le Peletier. What can you tell us about him?
Ah, dear Louis. He went from abolishing the death penalty to calling for the king's head in 2 short years.
Where can we find him?
I'm afraid I don't often socialize with my fellow deputies. Something about my distaste for the beheading of the innocent. Speaking of innocence...
De Sade. Le Peletier.
Well, I believe he often takes meals at a certain cafe near Le Palais Royal. I believe you can find him there.
If we don't, I'll be back.
Really? Well, then I hope I'm mistaken.
No, you don't.
Wine delivery for the palace.
Take it round back.
Make sure you clean those windows properly this time, or Mr. Le Peletier will have my
Yes,
head.
madame.
Bonjour, Citizen Le Peletier.
Citizen Talia.
Louis-Michel Le Peletier de Saint-Fargeau was born on May 29th, 1760 in Paris. Very promising. He became councillor of the Paris Parliament before the Revolution. Parliaments were judicial institutions and had no legislative function. In 1779, being under the age limit, he was admitted with special permission, most probably because of a Templar intercession. Among other law-related activities, he climbed the ladder of that institution until 1789, when he was elected to the Estates General as a representative of the nobility. Pretty soon, he discarded his noble origins and supported the cause of the Third Estate. He then devoted himself to politics, even becoming for almost 2 weeks president of the National Constituent Assembly. In June 1790, being a lawyer, he took part in the writing of a draft of a criminal code, in which the most striking point is the abolition of the death penalty. But that idea is dismissed. Talk about the abolition of a death penalty? In the 18th century? Never mind, America. You'll catch up one day. gosh, death penalty. I don't particularly mind the death penalty, considering, you know, I mean, obviously reserved for murderers, child things, you know what I mean? Well, not just child, but, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, and also, I mean, how much does a bullet cost compared to a life sentence in prison? Because we're, you know, a little bit soft. I'm not saying, I mean, it has to be beyond a reasonable doubt and all that stuff. Not a reasonable doubt. It has to be like 100%. They did this and all this stuff. That's my feeling. I don't know. Obviously, there's a big gray area there, but I don't know. I think it's okay. If I did something so bad, you know, I think that people would do less crime if they knew that, hey, you're gonna die if you do this. But people are like, oh, I'm just gonna go to prison. I get 3 meals a day, a bed. I mean, yeah, it's probably not the best place, I would assume. I've never been to prison. But let's face it, if you've got money, you're probably pretty well off in prison. Right, so there's a couple of people that we... Right there, okay, her, and I think the Louvre is one that we need to get to because we got it on one of the last episodes that was skipped because of technical difficulties. Marie Levesque was daughter of nobility dating back to the 13th century. By the time the Revolution, the Levesques had fallen on hard times, and in an effort to bolster the family finances, Marie married Thomas Lobet, scion of a more recent and ennobled and more prosperous family in 1771. Marie's father insisted that the groom take the bride's surname, and the Lobets, eager for legitimacy, agreed. Marie was, by all accounts, a fierce intellect and a sharp wit, and within a few years she had rebuilt the Levesque fortune. The Levesques were staunch Templar traditionalists dating back almost to their founding. A bit surprising to see her show up as part of this new Templar business. During the Revolution, she deftly played both sides against each other, maintaining much of the lavish lifestyle to which she had grown accustomed, while avoiding the worst ear of the radicals. Much of her fortune was spent buying up as much grain as she could acquire and distributing it among the poor and the needy. And she gave generously toward the reformation of Paris prisons. Ah, ha 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 ha. Tragically, she was murdered by an unknown assailant, that's us, during the celebration of the Palais Royal's convention into a prison conversion into a prison in late 1792, and there's his little Assassins 5, Templar 0. And I think that is... Oh, hold on, let's go to the Louvre. Here it is. Oh, here we go. Montgolfier flight. Science was a subject of speculation and intense debate. At the end of the 18th century, the public were invited to various experiments to attest to scientific advances. Balloons were a firm favorite of the masses in the 1780s, and in particular on July 11th, 1784. The Montgolfier brothers were among the first men to launch manned ascents in hot air balloons. Brothers Joseph and Etienne conducted an experiment in Paris under the patronage of the French Academy of Sciences. On September 9th, 1783, a balloon was flown with the first living beings, a sheep, a duck, and a rooster. Sounds like the beginning of a great joke. A sheep, a duck, and a rooster all get in a big balloon and float away. Haha. What happened next? I don't know. They were literally never seen again. That same year in Paris, Jean-François Peletier de Rosière and Marquis de Arlandes would be the first humans to lift off in a balloon. The crowd of curious onlookers gathered to witness the scene. But we're not here for that. I am here for... Misk. Okay. Letters.
Dearest Arno, I can barely conceive how much has changed in the last 3 years. How far our roads have taken us. Sometimes I feared our paths would diverge forever, or else come together at loggerheads like the star-crossed lovers in some hackneyed stage piece. Yet here we are. Not the same brash children we once were, nor yet strangers. When this is over, when Germain is dead at our feet and my father rests, who then will we be? Assassin mentor and Templar Grandmaster? The continuation of the old, or the beginning of something new? Will we shape the future of our world, or will we retire quietly to the countryside to raise goats? I can just see you, a goat herd, leaping and climbing about the Alps. No goat would have a chance of escaping you. I do not know what the next days, months, years will bring. All I know is that we shall remain Arno and Elise, and with that, I am content. Je t'aime, Elise.
Oh, well, that was lovely. Goats. Okay. Also not what we're here for. We are actually here for this one. Not districts. General? General, maybe? Nope, not general. Let's go to that one. There it is. The Louvre could be referred to in the plural sense. There have, in fact, been several Louvre palaces since Philippe Auguste inaugurated it as a fortress. Each new regime sought to leave its own particular mark on the edifice, starting with Charles V, the Wise. You stupid thing. The Wise, I think that's the nickname I'd go for. Better than the guy called Fat, or the other guy who wanted to be known as the Severe. Two of the worst nicknames in history. France's monarchs never ceased to embellish and improve the Louvre, which in Old Saxon means fortified camp. Leover, which in Old Saxon means fortified camp, and which would become Louvre. And so this barbarian Gorbish or Shack became the largest palace in the world, expanded and improved by Francis I, who had several sobriquets, including Francis of the Large Nose, as well as by Henry II, and later Louis XIV. Okay, of the Large Nose, we have a new worst nickname. Hi, they call me King of the Large Nose. Well, be still my beating heart. Despite its impressive stature, the palace was snubbed by France's kings, who started with Louis XIII, preferred Versailles. Who preferred Versailles? The courtyard, known as the Pavilion des Solis, is overseen by a large clock. Louis XVI was the last monarch to use the palace as a household. Okay, I think we're all caught up for the most part. I hope it doesn't freeze again.
Convenient lamppost to hit you up on! Stop! What's the hurry, friend? Hinderer!
My customers. Oh, sorry, sir.
Come on, rat! Off with you! Get your backsides moving or I'll be kicking them! There you are! Hold it! Away, citizen! Stop him! You can't shake me, dog!
What do you think the Austrians will do?
Retourne-y, allez!
Stop right there! I'll have your ears strung together! Come back here! I'll turn you into horse and jam! You touch me, and it's the guillotine! You're not allowed! Move away! Leur cœur a le pouvoir de toucher leur cul.
Are you trying to poison my customers?
I'm sorry, sir.
This is cut with lead sugar. One glass of this and...
I don't know what.
I've been doing this for 30 years.
You can't just
I think I know what
please
tainted
on my
wine is.
patch!
There's 50 litres worth of wine here. What am I going to do with it?
Well, you can sell it as a remedy for sore nipples for all I care. But I'm not buying a
Hey!
drug.
What are you afraid of? I've only ever killed a fool under
Trying to poison my customers.
Sorry, sir.
Ought to call the gendarme.
We'll have it taken away as soon as the car returns.
Poisoned wine. What's next? Infected bread?
Forgive me.
This may come in handy.
This is criminal.
Hey! You want some fun? I'll happily cut your innards out to play with!
Yes,
Je vais aller rendre visite à ma tante Anne.
I'll have a word with you. I'll get you.
Je ne tiens pas à te dire comment va se débloquer cette situation.
Die like a man, you coward! I'm right here, sunshine. Out of my way.
You can't escape. Nice try, I will, cat. Is someone there?
Louise Suzanne Le Peletier. After her father's assassination, Louise was officially named Daughter of the Nation by a grieving national convention. That's a heck of an adoption right there. Sorry about your dad. Anyway, literally everyone in France is your parent now. Imagine the queue of people who'd have to pick her up at school gates every day. Imagine all the cards she'd have to sign every bloody Mother's Day. In her later life, she was an ardent royalist and devoted considerable time to the expense to recovering and destroying the famous painting of her father by the artist Jacques Louis Jacques-Louis David. She died in 1829.
Right in front of me. Hang about.
You can't outrun me. You can't go forever. Soon the fun will start.
So fashion! Fashion's the only thing I got in mind! I'll put you down and tie you up!
The king must be seen as a criminal and a traitor. Only then, when he's executed like a common villain, do we show the world Jacques de Malay's great truth.
You may show the world what true as you like, Grandmaster. What I do for the good of France.
You were right. King Louis's been talking to all sorts he shouldn't have.
Citizen Le Peletier, the vote stands at 360 for execution to 360 for clemency. How do you vote?
Execution! The vote is cast and counted, Grandmaster.
And?
The king will die.
I had no doubt. I shall very much look forward to witnessing the end of tyranny.
I'll see to it you have the finest view.
I see you!
Louis-Michel Le Peletier. Do we read this one? Okay, hold on. Okay, Louis was born on May 29th, 1760 in Paris. Very promising. He became counselor of the Paris Parliament. Before the Revolution, parliaments were judicial institutions and had no legislative function. In 1779, under the age limit... Oh, we did read this one. Okay. It's an update, but I don't know where. Probably right here. At the convention, he nevertheless voted for the death of Louis the 16th and was killed the very same evening. He also worked more covertly on a draft about education, which was read by Robespierre at the convention about 6 months after Le Peletier's death. Le Peletier's remains went to the Pantheon, and his daughter was adopted by the nation as a token to his contribution to the revolution. Assassin 6, Templar 0. But he said he wanted to do everything for France. Yeah, he was working with the bad guys, but I don't know. How bad of a guy was he?
Just get within my reach!
You want to fight? I'll fight you. No way through here, on rope.
Greetings.
All right.
All right, assassination of Louis-Michel Le Peletier. A noble by birth, Peletier was an ardent defender of the people's cause and symbolically relinquished his title of nobility. In June 1790, he became president of the National Assembly. On January 20th, 1793, he cast his deciding vote for the death of Louis the 16th, but only after a great deal of hesitation. Well, I should think so. On the very evening of the vote, he was killed under mysterious circumstances at a cafe in Palais Royal. Contemporary sources credit a former royal guardsman as the killer, but the exact identity of the murderer remains mysterious to this day. Could it have been Arno? Anyways, that would end today's episode. I'd like to thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Consider subscribing. Do comment. And that's about it. Bye for now. Or not, just kidding. Cafe Fevier in the Palais Royal. Among the 19 cafes that comprise the Palais Royal, the Cafe Fevier was was located at 113 Galerie de Valois. Oh, I am just terrible at reading French words. It was famous for two events. Firstly, this is where Robespierre celebrated the proclamation of the Republic on September 21st, 1792. Secondly, it was here that on January 20th, 1793, Peletier was assassinated. Okay, now, bye for now. Maybe, hopefully.